Your memory is a liar, and the most skillful one you've personally hired. It lies to you every moment, and you not only believe it wholeheartedly but also reward it. Do you think you're sitting in front of a screen or lying in bed right now, a solid entity with 30, 40, or even 50 years of history? You think your personality, your fears, your knees that ache on rainy days are all built layer by layer from your past experiences, like building a house. If the foundation is crooked, the building can't be straight, right? This is the truth that all our education tells us. The past determines the present, cause and effect occur simultaneously, and time is a one-way street. But now I'm telling you, this is all a lie amplified by collective delusion. You're not locked in the past, you're locked in your current perception of the past. This is a huge cognitive trap. We're all like playing a game called statues, believing there's a pair of eyes watching us from behind. Eyes called childhood trauma, our family of origin, and past failures. As long as they're watching, we can't move, we can't even breathe. But in reality, when you suddenly turn around, you'll find nothing behind you except a swirling quantum fog. Let's throw this so-called common sense into the trash and get something truly stimulating to the brain. Do you think your current feelings, whether you're anxious, depressed, or experiencing some kind of chronic physical pain, are remnants of the past? Do you think it's the after-effects of that car accident 10 years ago? Or the echo of that slap from your father when you were 5? No, those things no longer exist in physical time. What's tormenting you right now is your present state of being, your current cells. Every second, in this very moment, based on your current beliefs, you're recreating that pain. Neuroscience tells us that memory isn't a file on a hard drive. Every time you recall something, you're actually rewriting that document. Note, rewriting, not reading. This means that every time you think back to that afternoon in your childhood that made you feel wronged, you're not watching a video, you're using your current emotions, current cognition, and current neurotransmitters to reconstruct that scene in your brain. If you're angry now, the sky in that memory will darken, and the other person's face will become more ferocious. If you're relieved now, the hues in that memory will warm up. But what have most of us done? Instead of using this mechanism for healing, we use it to reinforce our prisons. Every morning when we open our eyes, the first thing we do is go to our brain's archives. Retrieve those old files titled, "I'm not good enough, I've been hurt, the world is dangerous," and then stamp them with today's date, confirming they're still valid. This is practically a masochistic celebration. We use our present energy to feed the ghosts of the past. At this point, you might say, "Don't talk like that, it's easy for me to feel the pain. Those traumas are real, and my nervous system has changed because of them." Yes, your nervous system has changed. But who tells you that just because it's changed doesn't mean it can't change back? It's like holding a lump of clay, molding it into a pile of shit, staring at it for 40 years, crying, "Oh God, it's just a pile of shit, it will always be a pile of shit, that's its fate." Please, that's clay. It's your hand that's frozen, not the clay hardening. Here we need to introduce a concept that might short-circuit your brain, but once you connect with it, it can instantly shatter your worldview. To borrow a phrase from Seth's materials, the point of power is in the present. This might sound like a cheap motivational slogan, but its physics implications are terrifying. It means that time isn't a straight line but a circle, or a sphere radiating in all directions from this moment. It's not the past that causes the present, but rather the present that is creating the past. I know your logical system is starting to alarm. Hold on, don't rush to quit. Imagine that time is simultaneous, and all possibilities fill space like radio waves. The timeline of being ignored by your parents when you were 5 years old exists. And the timeline of being deeply loved by your parents when you were 5 years old also exists. They both exist in this ocean of possibilities. So why do you only remember the tragic one? Because your current receiver, your current belief system, is tuned to the tragic frequency. Your body, your cells, your DNA are responding to that frequency. That's why you feel chest tightness, shortness of breath, and inferiority right now. This isn't because of what happened 30 years ago, but because your current radio is broken and tuned to this channel. Once you understand this, you'll have the cheat code to change reality. If, in this very second, even just 1 second, you can truly and definitively change your thoughts, if you can tear off that victim label, guess what will happen? Your past will undergo a physical reorganization. This sounds like science fiction, right? Physical reorganization. Does changing my mind mean my broken leg will automatically reattach? What I want to tell you is that although the historical fact of the broken bone may still exist, the impact of that fracture on your current body, the energy block it carried, and the rheumatic pain it caused will disappear. This is because when that event is no longer a trauma in your psychological structure, but becomes a turning point or an insignificant interlude, your body has no reason to maintain that defensive posture of pain. Our bodies are very honest yet foolish servants. They cannot distinguish between reality and vivid imagination. When you lie in bed every night, replaying past arguments in your mind, your body secretes cortisol, your heart rate increases, and your immune system is suppressed. You are using a fictitious memory to truly poison your body in this very moment. Conversely, if you can utilize this mechanism, this leads to a very interesting paradox. Many people are even afraid to think that the past can be changed because they feel it is a betrayal of their own identity. If I don't hate that person, if I don't remember that pain, am I still myself? This identification with a painful identity is our greatest addiction. We're like people adrift at sea clinging to a piece of rotten wood. Even though a luxury cruise ship is right next to us, we dare not let go because we feel this piece of wood is our entire possession, proof of our existence. Look, I've suffered so much, so my current failure is justified. What a perfect refuge. As long as I'm still a victim, I don't need to take responsibility for my current mediocrity, I don't need to face unknown risks. Therefore, subconsciously we desperately try to maintain the immutability of the past. We desperately try to prove that old habits die hard, just to stay in that dark, damp comfort zone a little longer. But, my friend, that comfort zone is filled with the smell of mildew. Now, like an uninvited thug, I'm going to drag you out of that moldy corner and throw you into the scorching sun. I'm going to ask you a few uncomfortable questions, perhaps even offensive ones. Since you believe so much that the past determines the future, why do you brush your teeth? You brushed them yesterday. According to linear logic, past cleanliness should determine present cleanliness. Why don't you believe that one meal will determine your entire life? Oh, you've acknowledged that physiological metabolism is dynamic and requires constant maintenance. So why, on a psychological level, do you think a beating from 30 years ago can cause a lifetime of psychological malnutrition? Isn't that a double standard? Let me ask you again, if you suddenly lost your memory completely, forgetting all names, hatred, and regrets, retaining only life skills, do you think your current chronic stomach ailment would still hurt so much? Would you still be so socially anxious around strangers? You'd find that without the script of the past, you wouldn't know how to play the patient or the victim. You'd become like a newborn, full of curiosity about the world. Your body would even quickly initiate self-healing procedures. What does this mean? It means that those so-called personality flaws and chronic illnesses aren't etched in stone, but rather something you reenact every morning when you wake up, following a script. You're an Oscar-caliber actor, acting for so long that you've forgotten you're acting, believing that the crippled character is yourself. So where's the way out? Am I going to give you that damn answer? There's no standard answer. I'm not going to give you a platitude, telling you that forgiving everything will make the world a better place. Forgiveness, if it's just lip service, is a form of moral blackmail. True change doesn't require forcing yourself to forgive anyone, nor does it require you to pretend to be a saint. What you need to do is act like a time hacker. You need to realize that you possess a kind of editing power, akin to a god's eye view. When that painful childhood scene resurfaces, don't sit there crying like a helpless audience member. You need to realize that at this moment, you are the director. You can call cut. This doesn't mean you should rewrite history or deceive yourself into thinking it didn't happen. No, it means you should step inside, enter that scene. Try playing a game, which might be the most dangerous yet most healing game you've ever played. Find a quiet moment, close your eyes, and return to the scene that caused you the most pain. Like being locked in a dark room and crying as a child. But add a new character to that scene. Your current self, the adult you, the strong, wise, and resilient you who has weathered all storms. Push open that door, walk in, and hug that trembling child. Look into his eyes and say to him, and actually to yourself, "Don't be afraid, I'm here." The person who hurt you was actually a pathetic fool. His anger has nothing to do with you. And you will grow into a wonderful person in the future, just like me now. We are safe now. When you do this, don't treat it as fantasy. On a quantum level, you are transmitting high-frequency energy to that specific space-time coordinate. You are rewriting the emotional code of that world. You will be surprised to find that when you finish this exercise and open your eyes, the huge stone that has been weighing on your chest for 20 years has inexplicably loosened. Your breathing has become deeper. Even the person who once hurt you, if you see them again, you will find that they have changed, or their attitude towards you has inexplicably changed. Why? Because the script has changed. When you change your reaction to the past in the present, the gravitational field of the past changes. This is called, the environment changes with the mind. This is not just a beautiful saying in Buddhist scriptures, it is a practical application of quantum mechanics. You don't need to repair the past, you only need to stop supplying power to that old script in the present. We need to understand a profound cynicism. Life is not actually that serious. All cause and effect are projections of your thoughts. The person you hate to the bone may just be a sparring partner invited by your subconscious to teach you what independence is. The failure that caused you unbearable pain may just be to knock you off the wrong track and let you see the real scenery. If you can view your past from this perspective, the perspective of your soul or your higher self, all tragedies will instantly turn into comedies, or at least absurdities. You'll laugh out loud. The moment you laugh, the chains break. It's really that simple. Yes, it's that simple. The difficulty lies in fighting against the ego that wants to continue wallowing in pain. That ego will tell you, this is too easy. This isn't scientific. I need more analysis, more treatment, more medicine. Don't listen to him. He's just afraid of losing his job. Your past is like a pile of Lego bricks. Before, you used them to build a prison, locking yourself inside. Now you can dismantle that prison and use the same bricks to build a castle or a spaceship. The bricks are still the same, the facts haven't changed, but the structure has changed. The meaning has changed, and the function is completely different. After you turn off this video or put down your phone, I hope you can do one thing, not to share or like it, but to sit quietly for 1 minute, just 1 minute, and feel your body. Where is there tension? Where is there pain? Then ask yourself, is this real pain, or am I clinging to the shadows of the past? Try to let go, like tightly gripping a handful of sand, so tightly that your palm aches. You think it's a treasure, but it's just a handful of sand. Let go, let the sand flow away. And you'll find that what you've lost is only a burden, and what you've gained is the freedom of your entire palm and the space to grasp new things. We always overestimate the weight of memories and underestimate the power of the present moment. You should know that even Buddha, Jesus, or any wise person you admire, they were able to attain enlightenment not because their past was more perfect than yours, not because they hadn't been hurt, but because they lived completely and absolutely in the present moment. In the flame of the present moment, all the past is just fuel. What the fuel looks like is not important. What matters is whether the flame it burns is bright enough. If your past is a pile of mud, then burn it into bricks and build a house. If your past is a wasteland, then let it become fertilizer and grow flowers. Don't let those dead times drag you down like zombies. You have the ultimate right to rewrite. Right now, here and now, as long as you change your mind, the crying child will stop crying, the wounded boy will put down his knife. And that gloomy childhood will become a yellowed but warm old photograph. In this vast, chaotic, yet miraculous universe, the only one who can define you is yourself, not the you of the past. Not the you of yesterday, but the you of today who is breathing, thinking, and listening to these words. So the lock is not locked at all. Push open the door and go out. The wind is strong outside. But that's the taste of freedom.